I got a DHS letter in the mail this morning, and I just now opened it. And somebody reported me to the state of Michigan because I'm making money on TikTok, and I drive a 2024 BMW.
Welcome back, everyone. Today we've got another lineup of jaw-dropping clips of people absolutely losing it over the new food stamp and Section 8 restrictions. You know the drill by now. Every time accountability shows up, the excuses start flying. And trust me, the deeper we go into this video, the wilder the entitlement gets. Stick around until the very end, because the last clip, it's the perfect example of why hardworking Americans are fed up, and you don't want to miss it. Let's dive right in.
I'm a single mom of 5 and I do get food stamps, and according to my comments, you guys don't know how the fuck the food stamps and the SNAP benefits work, so let me educate you in 1 minute and 3 seconds. First and foremost, I am in Texas, so you must be a Texas citizen. You must be a U.S. citizen, or you must be a qualified legal non-citizen, and you must live in a low-income household. Now, they do take income into account based on your family size. Again, income into account based on family size. I know that you guys think income equals the ability to buy food. Remember, it's a low-income household, so that is not always the case. Now, since they do look at your income, they also look at the expenses like childcare, shelter, utilities, medical bills, things of that nature. They also have an asset limit here in Texas of about $2,700 and some change. Now, the nitty gritty when it comes down to working. If you're between the ages of 16 and 59 years old, you are required to work, train, or volunteer. However, if you are elderly, the primary caregiver to someone that is 18 or younger, a student, or disabled, those do not apply to you.
Nobody's confused about how the program works. What people are tired of is watching it get turned into a lifestyle. Food stamps were designed as a safety net, not a business plan. Listing the rules doesn't change the fact that millions of hardworking taxpayers are paying their own bills, while also funding benefits for people who've made dependency their normal. Hardworking Americans are tired of carrying the burden. Explaining the rules doesn't erase the entitlement. If you choose to have 5 kids, feeding them is your job, not the taxpayers. But here's what I'd like to know. Do you think programs like this should be capped after a certain number of kids? Or should it stay unlimited? I'm curious where you stand on that one. But anyway, in our next video, she complains that she can't get food stamps even though she has 12 children. Let's watch the video to find out why.
So I have 12 children. So how much food stamps does a family that has 12 children get? Well, in my state of Tennessee, if you have 12 children plus 2 adults, 14 people, you get $2,618. Now, 2 of my children do not live at home, so we are technically a family of 12. And in my state of Tennessee, if you are a family of 12, you get $2,244. Now, how much does our family get? So now we're going to see how many people actually watch this all the way through before they start making nasty comments in the comment section. Our family gets 0. We do not get food stamps. We do not qualify for food stamps. And even if we did qualify for food stamps, I would not get food stamps. To those that need them, good for you. I'm not over here judging, but I just get so tired of people making comments, oh, the governments are paying for your children. No, they're not. My husband works and I have a full-time business. So let's just see who actually watches this all the way through. Have a great day. Bye.
So I'm going to answer the most popular question in my comment section. And that is, how do you get food stamps while being married? Now, even though me and my man have been together for over 15 years, we do not want to get married because then they will take the food stamps away from us. And honestly, I'm not willing to lose food stamps, so I'd rather just not be married. So yes, I say my husband this, my husband that, but no, we are not married. At the end of the day, if my husband were to be like, okay, it's either we do get married or you choose food stamps, I'm going to choose food stamps. Because guess what? If I separate from you, then you're going to have to pay me child support. Honestly, that's a win-win situation. I stay with my food stamps and I get child support. Let me rephrase that. I get more child support. So at the end of the day, for everyone that has been asking, no, I'm not married. I just say that we're married. Like, usually, like, when you're with someone for so long, you call each other husband and wife and blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's the reason we don't get married, because I do not want to lose my food stamps. I'd rather lose my husband than lose my food stamps. Like, what the fuck?
15 years with a man, but marriage is off the table, not because of values, not because of commitment, but because she doesn't want to lose free government handouts. Think about that. She flat out admits she'd rather keep food stamps than have a husband, and if he leaves, she's already planning on cashing in child support. That's not love, that's a strategy to milk the system. Taxpayers are literally the third partner in her relationship, footing the bill so she can keep playing wife without the responsibility. When government benefits become more valuable than marriage, you don't build families, you build dependency. And that's exactly what she's proud of. But let me ask you this, do you think benefits like food stamps should be reduced when there's a stable partner in the home? Or should it stay the same no matter what? But anyway, in the next video, we'll see a young man sitting around complaining about getting food stamps instead of looking for a job.
Nothing to say. There's nothing I would say, or, I mean, he's not gonna change. My food stamps just got taken, so I'm in a bit of a crisis here, trying to find out how I'm gonna pay for food for the month. They closed my case. I think yesterday. I just found out today, so yeah, I mean, I'm getting a lot of people like saying, "Go Trump! Oh, yo, he's so awesome." Nothing. Just wastes of life. I have no food now, so this kind of sucks. And you people still support him? Right here.
You know how idiotic of a person you gotta be to hate on somebody that gets food stamps and free housing and don't want work? It's almost as idiotic as us getting up every morning and going to do a job that's gonna take half of our paycheck. When you walk into the grocery store and you pay $10 for an apple, how could you hate on the motherfucker that get it for free? In a country where our people put in blood, sweat, tears, and work. How? Everybody can't go. Matter of fact, you could do the same thing if you decided to just say, fuck it. I'ma just live off the government. It ain't for everybody. I wouldn't do it, but I damn sure ain't finna hate on the next woman that's doing it. Come on now. Have you seen child care prices? Lord forbid a mama actually try to go to work. She can't even afford child care. So respectfully, when a mama decides to stay home, I get it. I ain't mad about it. How can y'all look at somebody in this country where you can't even go to the hospital for free and get mad because they get food stamps, government assistance from the same government that fucks you every day? At least somebody is getting some benefits from it. What's not clicking?
Instead of being embarrassed about living off the backs of working Americans, she's bragging that freeloading is somehow justified because life is expensive. The difference is, some of us get up, grind, and pay our own way, while others sit back, collect handouts, and call it a benefit. Childcare costs, hospital bills, we all deal with it. The difference is, responsible adults sacrifice, budget, and hustle. But these folks twist it into a badge of honor to sponge off taxpayers. And the worst part, they act like we're the idiots for working, while they laugh in our face with a cart full of free groceries. That's not empowerment. That's entitlement at its ugliest. But tell me this, do you think bragging about government benefits should disqualify someone from getting them at all, or should it not matter? I'm curious where you stand. But anyway, in the next video, we will watch someone who complains about the toilet instead of doing work and tries to blame everything on someone else.
Sometimes I have to go to the bathroom.
Okay. What, the only one of y'all working here?
Right at the moment.
Oh my God. Oh my gosh. That's,
You in that big a hurry?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm sorry.
Well, I'm sorry that y'all can't afford to hire some more people. I'm sorry that y'all can't afford to hire enough people to work here.
Oh, well.
Huh?
Life goes on.
I thought they held hostage back there.
I had to go to a little grocery. I'm not going to stand up here and pee all over the floor, because that means I'd have to clean it up.
That's right.
Okay? And people just don't seem to understand that. Because they have, stuff they have to do. Like go to the DHS. Thank you.
Oh, did you hear her?
Bye.
She just said we had to go to the DHS. I just recorded that.
Thank you, darling.
You're welcome. Did you hear that?
It takes too much to keep these food stamps. Why do y'all keep sending me this paper asking me, has anything changed? No, I still have negative $0 to my name. I still don't have a job. I still live in the sewer. This is where I live. In the sewer at the church. Nothing has changed. I don't even have a pen to fill this out and send it back. And how I'm gonna bring it with no car? I gotta walk this all the way to y'all's building. By the time I get there, y'all gonna cut the food stamps off. Y'all said I gotta turn this in by the 15th. By the time I get there, y'all gonna be cutting my food stamps off. Y'all, why are y'all giving me a hard time?
This right here is the perfect example of what happens when people get too comfortable with handouts. She's mad that the state asks her to update her paperwork once in a while. Seriously? Taxpayers are footing the bill for her food, and the bare minimum she's asked to do is fill out a form. And even that is too hard. She admits she has no job, no effort, no plan, just waiting for the government to keep her fed. Meanwhile, the rest of us work, pay taxes, and don't get to cry about paperwork. If you can't even handle turning in a form, maybe that's why you're stuck relying on food stamps in the first place. But let me ask you this. Should people who refuse to do the basic paperwork lose their benefits right away? Or should the system give them endless chances? But anyway, let's move on to our next video.
So, like I said, the manager from the apartments had got a hold of me when we were in our meeting and told me that she was also contacted by some fraud investigators from the food stamp office, and they had opened an investigation on me because they had complaints as well. So during the meeting with the manager, I had just decided to just give up the apartment. I wasn't going to try to fight for 2 months because she already had made up her mind that she wasn't going to renew my lease anyways. So I just took my loss and moved out. Now I look back and I kind of wish I would have fought it, just because like I'm living with my mother-in-law and that's always hard right now, and I miss my apartment, but everything happens for a reason. So the next day, I immediately called the food stamp office and tried to get a hold of whatever investigators were over my case. And I got a hold of them, and they were expecting my call, and they knew who I was, and they told me that I could be facing prison time. They told me what I'd done was very serious, and they did actually have some evidence that I was, in fact, swiping my food card a few times for, I had to start my business to take the pictures. I had bought the supplies with my food card, and they had evidence of that. But come to find out, whenever the investigators came over to the house and talked to me, they were amazing, and they worked with me so much and were so helpful. And since I had never been in trouble and it was my first offense with anything, all I had to do was sign so I ended up just having to sign an IPV, which is just saying that I had violated the food stamp program and that I was no longer allowed to ever be on food stamps, which I was completely fine with, as a matter of fact, very happy with, because I thought I could have been going to prison, and I have 6 babies. So fast forward almost a year later, I'm living with my mother-in-law. Thankfully she has a way big enough house to fit me and my kids in it right now. I am on maternity leave because during it all I get pregnant. But good news is, since then I was able to get a commercial kitchen just a few months after getting kicked out of the apartment. I was able to really jumpstart my business. I now have a full business making my candy grapes called 740 Eats, and I branched out into selling other foods. And I'm just on maternity leave, and I am looking at a new deal to open a full restaurant next year. We are just waiting on a few things. Like I got a text this morning, we're waiting on a vent hood and the sink and the prep room and everything. But other than that, everything happens for a reason. I don't think that we were meant to stay on food stamps. I don't think we were meant to be on HUD. I don't think we were meant to just stay in that stagnant situation I think that we were comfortable in, and that we probably would have stayed in if it wasn't for this push of us to get out of. So now our goals are to just continue saving our money. My husband works full-time, actually works 2 jobs right now to make up for my income since I'm on maternity leave. And we're just saving and hopefully getting our credit repaired and getting all of our ducks in a row to buy a home.
This woman admits she used food stamps to fund her little side business. That's fraud, plain and simple. Investigators could have sent her to prison, and honestly, that's what usually happens. But instead, she got a lifetime ban from benefits. And here's the kicker. Losing that safety net is exactly what forced her to stand on her own 2 feet. Now she's running a business, renting a commercial kitchen, and even planning a restaurant. And that's the lesson nobody wants to say out loud. When the free ride ends, people find a way. Comfort on welfare keeps families stuck for generations. It took getting caught and banned to push her into real independence. Do you think it should always take punishment to force people into responsibility? Or should the system build in stricter requirements from the start? But anyway, you know I saved the craziest video for last, so let's watch it.
I got a DHS letter in the mail this morning, and I just now opened it. And somebody reported me to the state of Michigan because I'm making money on TikTok, and I drive a 2024 BMW. They have cut my food stamps from almost $4,000 a month down to $88 a month. They are telling me if I want a review that I have to sell my car. So you're telling me if you were on welfare, food stamps, cash assistance, Section 8, you can't drive a nice car? They are forcing me to sell my brand new BMW, or I lose almost $4,000 in food stamps. Not only that, they have taken my cash assistance totally away. They are telling me that Section 8 will no longer be paying 95% of my rent, only 10% of my rent. So I will have to pay a little over $400 a month now instead of $60 a month. They cannot.
Wow, it looks like the Doge got you too, boo.
She's crying because Michigan finally noticed the scam. Driving a 2024 BMW, making money on TikTok, and still pocketing almost $4 grand in food stamps every month. That's not poverty, that's abuse. And now she's shocked they told her to sell the car if she wants benefits? That's how the system works. You can't claim hardship while flexing luxury. For years, taxpayers were footing her rent at $60 a month. Now she's mad she has to pay $400. Welcome to real life. Hardworking families drive used cars, work 2 jobs, and still pay their bills with no handouts. Meanwhile, she thought she could have it all. Welfare checks, free rent, and a brand new BMW. Sorry, but the free ride is over. This is exactly why reform is needed. Do you think stricter checks on luxury spending should be part of the system from day one? Drop your thoughts down below. I always check the comments. And that's going to wrap it up for today. If you enjoyed watching these freeloaders finally face some accountability, you're going to love the video on screen. Go ahead and click on it, tap on it, whatever device you're on, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great rest of your day.